Sanibonani, this is Mzansi Citizen. Last night, an intelligence-led police raid in Houghton has exposed a suspected drug packaging hub inside a hijacked house, with prescription codeine cough syrup and processed Dagga seized and multiple arrests made. We unpack what was found, who's involved, and what this means for Johannesburg and cross-border crime. Let's go.
We are here in Houghton, intelligence-driven approach where we're looking at the hijacked houses. And we came across this house here where they were housing a lot of medicine, like the cough medicine, cough syrup. In here, this is the cough syrup with codeine, and it's you can't really just get this. This is actually a very, must get it with the prescription. And then also you've got some vanillin with codeine that has been here. And also we've got Dagga that was actually destined for Zimbabwe. All of that. So as you can see with all this, as you can see is that in all these hijacked houses, you'll find something of this nature. And so all this medicine, it was destined for Zimbabwe, and also this Dagga. We were just going around the area because we did do quite a bit of an operation in Houghton on the hijacked houses. So we got a tip-off as well that there might be some activity which is actually happening here. So we're in this place here, got a lot of medicine. And we are checking everything that is here and what is actually happening. So this is your bone clear with codeine. Thanks.
So I was with my councillors, the councillors in the city, and there has been a tip-off that there's quite a number of buildings that have been hijacked here at the Houghton. So we're doing our own stakeout just to check what's happening. So we saw, when we entered on this other house, we just saw some suspicious individuals that were here, looking at they're doing the cross-border. The package, and when we're searching and asking questions, we actually find that there's some medicine. There was the one box that we saw, illegal medicine, and then we decided that we're going to call the JMPD to really come on site as well, the CCTV and the JMPD TRU. Then when we search inside the house, we find all this medicine here, which is close about 1 million roughly, and all of that. And also actually got a bit of Dagga as well, so you can look at about plus minus 1M, 2M, something around there. It's quite a very big rack.
So this house was a base, basically. Now this is where they bring these illicit goods here, and then they transport them cross-border.
Yes, it's these. Most of these houses, they've actually been hijacked, and some of them are used for carrying these goods, for the cross-border. Some of these guys, they actually ran away from the city because we've been doing the operation with the councillors, Te and Councillor Sihle, because they're the councillor around the area. So they ran away now. They're actually coming into the hijacked houses, and we follow them here.
Well, thank you so much, MMC. We'll leave it there for now as we try and get more information with regards to that, Juliet. I'm actually going to move out of shot once more, just so you see what is currently happening. In fact, this is quite a huge building. It's raining right now, and it's also quite dark, so our viewers might not be able to see the full picture, but it's quite a huge compound. The yard is actually really big, and you'd also notice some of the things that are here at the moment. You see some bed mattresses, you see a number of cars. Actually, we counted about 8 cars in one of these yards alone. They are now confiscating those boxes, and then the estimated value at this point will only be confirmed once the counting and all these boxes have been accounted for. It also seems as though this is a syndicate. It happens most of the time, and for these individuals, there was a stakeout by law enforcement officials as well as officials from the city of Johannesburg. Will be on the scene.
No, thank you very much. So what is happening here is that we got a tip-off that there is a house where there's a lot of activity that's actually happening. People move in and down. It's in quite light numbers. So yesterday we did the oversight just to check what's happening at night. It was a surprise visit into the area. That's when we've discovered that there were undocumented foreigners, about 90 of them. As you know, that in terms of the bylaw, that is not really allowed in terms of the size of the house and the number of people that are staying here. And then when we further went inside the house, we find that there are partitions investigations that have been done, and people are staying like one house that, in one room where they've separated and using a curtain and all this material that can be deemed, flammable. And some of the areas of the house that it's a shower or a bathroom has been converted into a room. So in terms of there's a contravention of the bylaws, like very serious in this house. So today we've also, when we did an oversight that there's an illegal connection in terms of the electricity, illegal connection of water. So today we brought in City Power, we brought in Joburg Water, and then also we're just waiting now for the EMS to come and do its own inspection into the place.
I saw that there are occupants who are still inside here. What are they saying when you communicate with them?
Well, they don't want to say anything because we are waiting for the owner. Some of them are saying to me that some of the people that were here have actually moved out, they actually ran away. Okay, and then what we're interested in is the owner. We've been waiting for the owner from 8 o'clock. He's been saying that he's been coming. If you go into the records, you'll find out the house was sold in 2024. It sold into a company. So I can tell you now for free that is a modus operandi of the hijackers. There's houses like this, and the properties and houses and flat. If it's hijacked, it's normally on a company or on an NGO or on an NPO. So we believe that this house has been hijacked. We are waiting for those people to come and account in terms of what is happening here.
You can tell me now, there are places like Sandringham, Houghton, and other places, suburbs in Johannesburg that has been hijacked. It seems as if there is an issue with hijacked buildings in Johannesburg.
Yes, indeed there is. I think that probably in terms of the country, probably is not here in Johannesburg alone, the country as a whole. We must be able to look after, the property portfolio of the country. Because I even said one of the interviews that I've seen that happening in the Eastern Cape as well, in the Buffalo City. There's some of the buildings that just been deteriorated. And people have just hijacked them as far they just become dark and no electricity. People just they actually they actually hijack them. In the city of Johannesburg, yes, we do have a problem in terms of the hijacked buildings. I know the city because I sit in the Maycom. We've adopted a strategy in terms of dealing with those, the buildings. The problem we're having at the city is that when people have hijacked, in terms of where are we going to take them? Yeah, well, it's an alternative accommodation which is there.
That was Dr. Mzansi Citizen. He is the MMC of Public Safety. I have to say that when we arrived here, we managed to get inside this hijacked house, and there were occupants who were there inside this house, and we managed to speak to one of them. One of them is from Malawi. She told us that she has been here in South Africa for almost a month. She was told to come and study here. When I asked her where is the owner, she told me that she last saw the owner when she arrived here. She told us that she is not paying rent here, she is staying for free. So I can tell you that the members of the JMPD are here, and also
of pharmaceutical smuggling. Although authorities are probing what caused the 61-seater bus, allegedly carrying over 90 Malawian and Zimbabwean passengers, to crash, they are also investigating the discovery of ARVs, another prescription medication which had no documentation for medical cargo. Pharmaceutical smuggling entails the illegal importation or exportation of medication, as well as unlawful transportation of it across borders.
A full-scale investigation has been launched, and law enforcement agencies are also treating this accident as a potential case of pharmaceutical smuggling. The theft of prescription medicine, in particular ARVs, also undermines the fight against an HIV-free region, because people who are using those medications, because they are not continuous, they are going to develop resistance, and thus creating a problem for the fight against ARV. Cabinet calls on all foreign nationals to be well-mannered guests in South Africa, and reminds everyone that it took a lot of effort to stop the recent unsavory treatment meted out against foreign nationals at local clinics. Unfortunately, the proof that confirms brazen theft of medicines from the government clinics do not assist efforts to restore conditions for foreign nationals to access public health care in South Africa.
Operation Tutula are the mouthpiece of South Africans, and nobody will stop us because we cannot just sit back and watch our country going down the drain. I mean, our buildings are dilapidating. These people are hijacking. I mean, these people are criminals. The minute you cross the border and you don't have a proper document, that makes you a criminal. Now, why are these NGO advocating for criminals? Are they promoting criminality? Are they promoting a lawless country? So I'm still saying we're going to close them down because South Africans are hurtful. And we are not vigilantes. I mean, if you have seen yesterday's operation, because it's all over social media platform, we asked the police that now that you're here, please intervene. We have properties that are hijacked by foreigners, whether they're legal or not, but they're not supposed to be occupying those properties. Properties are belonging to the city. If you check on the system, it tells you that the property belongs to the city, but you have a non-South African who lives in those property. We had complainants because we are invited by the community of Rosettenville to say that we are tired.
I wanted to ask who gave you the mandate. Yes.
We are invited because the crime rate is too high. I mean, there's killings in Rosettenville and people are unsafe. And they say it's because of all of these hijacked properties that are harboring illegal migrants, prostitution, drugs that are happening in those properties. I mean, that's the same reason why we went to the city and said, you need to intervene because
illegal connections, water rates are not being connected.
The city is not getting any revenue because those people have connected illegally. I mean, it's not that we just thumb-sucking things out of our own minds and all that, but it's evident. We've seen it. We've seen illegal connection and all that. And unfortunately, there's no vigilantism, but we have police that chooses not to do their job. We see the police vehicles roaming around, using our tax money because that fuel that's poured in those vehicles is our tax money. But they're doing nothing to help the communities. Every time when the community goes to the station and seek help, they're being told that there are no vans. Not even the station commander is willing to help these people. These victims, the people that invited us there, they've lost their properties. I mean, there's a lady that was interviewed and explained how she lost her property in the hands of foreign nationals. The case is there at the station, but the station is doing nothing about it.
Look,
Late on the November 22, 2025, Johannesburg Metro Police and City Public Safety teams moved on a tip about illegal activity at a residential building in Houghton. Officers found large quantities of boxed prescription cough syrup containing codeine, a Schedule 5 controlled substance, alongside processed Dagga that appeared ready to be packaged for distribution. Authorities have estimated the total seizures value in the millions, and at least 8 suspects were arrested in connection with possession, dealing, and illegal occupation of the property. Officials say the operation involved the Tactical Response Unit and CCTV analysis teams, indicating it was intelligence-led rather than random. The building was immediately secured while evidence is logged and further investigations continue. The method and the network operations. Why Houghton? Hijacked and abandoned properties are attractive to syndicates because they're out of normal sight, yet in easy reach of transport routes. In this case, investigators say the drugs were being packaged for shipment to destinations including Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, using cross-border buses and informal Malaysia courier vehicles, a known route for small-scale smuggling. The discovery of bank accounts receiving rent payments from occupants also raises suspicions of organized facilitation and money flows. Police say occupants were paying rent into an account registered under an unknown name, a common red flag where property hijacking and criminal enterprise overlap. This pattern allows network operators to remain anonymous while profiting from illicit activity hidden behind normal transaction records. Human and community factors. Past operations in Houghton have also revealed overcrowded living conditions and exploitation. In earlier raids, officials found dozens of undocumented migrants living in cramped rooms inside hijacked homes. A growing pattern. This raid mirrors a disturbing trend we've seen across Johannesburg. Hijacked homes run by foreign syndicates. Illegal drug operations in residential suburbs. Human trafficking and overcrowded unsafe living conditions. Fraudulent rental schemes where locals are pushed out. Underground cross-border networks operating with confidence and no fear of law enforcement. For years, South Africans have highlighted this pattern, yet the issue has continued largely unchecked. Why foreign syndicates are growing. The hard truth. Foreign criminals feel comfortable operating here because our system is weak, and the political will to stop these networks is almost non-existent. Borders are porous. Home affairs is compromised. Law enforcement is overwhelmed. Politicians avoid tough decisions. Courts release offenders back onto the streets. This environment creates the perfect breeding ground for foreign syndicates to thrive, boldly and publicly. Impact on communities. Houghton is just one example. Across South Africa, ordinary citizens are living at the mercy of foreign criminals who have no respect for our laws, our communities, or our sovereignty. This has real consequences. Increased crime. Drug addiction among the youth. Property values dropping. Families living in unsafe environments. Local businesses collapsing. Citizens losing trust in government. South Africans are paying the price for the state's inaction. What needs to happen? Authorities must close hijacked buildings, track illegal cross-border operations, enforce immigration laws, and dismantle these syndicates completely. Not once-off raids, consistent, relentless enforcement. Communities must stay vigilant, informed, and vocal. Silence is how these networks survive. Thank you for watching Mzansi Citizen. Proudly Patriot. This incident is not just about drugs found in a house, it's about a nation under pressure from foreign criminal networks that exploit weak governance, collapsing institutions, and a lack of political will. Foreigners who disrespect our laws continue to act freely because the system allows them to. And while authorities make occasional arrests, the root of the problem remains untouched. We cannot, and must not, continue living at the mercy of criminals who treat South Africa like a lawless playground. We call for stronger enforcement, border control, decisive leadership, and a government that finally puts the safety of its people first. Stand up. Speak out. Stay alert. Protect your community. Subscribe to Mzansi Citizen, and be counted as a proud patriot. Hit the bell, and share this message. Until next time, stay safe, South Africa. Goodbye.
They were housing a lot of medicine, like a cough medicine, cough syrup. In here, this is the cough syrup with codeine, and it's you can't really just get this. This is actually a very, must not get it with the prescription. And then also you've got some Benylin with codeine that has been here. And also we've got Dagga that was actually destined for Zimbabwe. All of that. So as you can see with all this, as you can see is that in all the checking everything that is here. And what is actually happening. So this is your bone clear with codeine. Your bone clear with codeine. Thanks.